Okay, so I'm China and we're gonna talk about a couple articles once I figure out how to present. Uh, okay, so on design practice, the article was literally all about communication and how design is a social practice. And when you incorporate communication early on and throughout the design process, you get better results. Design teams are often interdisciplinary, and it's a large group of people with different backgrounds. They come with their own discourse groups, their own language, their own understanding of things. And um, the article shares a couple different ways that you can kind of create a shared language through storytelling and design artifacts because you're keeping everyone engaged in a way that they're used to. With storytelling, everyone enjoys a good story. You're able to be more detailed than in a design scenario, and you're engaging and you're keeping everyone all in the same language. You can easily explain the situation through kind of specific things that have happened to real people, and I think that people connect more to that rather than some kind of generic scenario, which I mean, obviously has its own use cases as well. But so that is one of the tools that the article talks about. And then another one is design artifacts, and that can be anything that's visual, that concrete you can kind of put your hands on and see. It could be like a prototype. Because that's also like another selling point for getting other people to understand what you're saying when they don't really know the words or like the language that you're using, because when they can see it, they can kind of get a better understanding. It's a lot easier to give your opinion and feedback on something that you can see or touch or interact with. It's a lot easier that way. So I think that that's the main point of this article, is just kind of design as a social practice and how important it is to incorporate that, and you're able to get better results that way. And then prototyping for tiny figure fingers is kind of what it sounds like. This article is more about prototyping and keeping things lo-fi, because you're able to get more feedback and better, more useful information when users can focus on, the actual functions of your design rather than how pretty it looks. And whenever you are testing something and people see, oh, you've got like a palm tree on it, like you should put like a picture of a fir tree or something. Often you'll get feedback that's not very useful if you have something more developed. And then also there's that fear that comes with kind of critiquing someone's child project. If they've worked really hard on it, you don't want to say anything negative about it or offer feedback that could be rework for them. So keeping it lo-fi kind of alleviates a lot of the pressure. And then also just kind of creates like a space that is comfortable for feedback and where you could really focus in on what's going on. Also, it's a lot faster. They talked a lot about how fast you can develop lo-fi things, just like with pieces of paper and stuff, and involving everyone in that process and kind of just like throwing things together is how you can create something really useful and a solution that maybe you wouldn't have come across if you weren't like popping out 500 million of them at a time. So I think that those are the main points of the articles, and I hope that this summarized them. How do I stop? Okay, bye.